Rockets went out sad, dude. Game seven. I, I can't even talk about it. It was rated R. It was for adult eyes only. The kids in Houston didn't deserve that, dude. I'm over here talking about like it was a fucking tragic event. And the thing that pisses me off is this. Humanity doesn't need this right now. We don't need this. This freaking feral kickboxer is not. I need to let go. But on the bright side, if there's anything positive that came out, actually, a couple things positive came out of that series for the Rockets, dude. One thing is, Sengun is that guy. If there's any ever questions, there's no more questions now. Sengun is that guy.
You get to see who really real. Sengun real, man. He ain't back down at all. What I would say to him, if I was his OG, flop a little less, embellish a little less, because with a defender like me, he doing that, my feed off that.
The kickboxer agrees. This is Sengun's stats for the first round of the playoffs. 20 points, 11 rebounds. Granted, it wasn't that efficient. Sengun will be the first one to tell you that. But while watching the game, you could just see Sengun's hunger. Sengun not being scared of the moment. His first time being in the playoffs. He had alpha characteristics in that series. And I'm just like, okay, the Rockets, like, all-star, but they got themselves one. They got themselves one for the future. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Rockets and, just their incoming off-season. That's going to be very, very entertaining and fun to watch. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. So the Rockets, over the past 3 years, right? First year, they won 22 games. Last year, they won 41 games. The year that just ended for them, 52 games. They're on track to win 60-plus games next year. Like if this trend is just going up. And like to see how they've turned things around in Houston so quickly. I'm a freaking Wizards fan, so like I'm just like, our model is the Rockets. How they have all this young talent, all this draft capital that I'm gonna get to soon. Also combining with veterans, like that's just a recipe for success. But they just did it so much faster than everybody thought they would. But with the series that just ended, I want to give you guys a couple stats regarding that series with the Warriors and why these stats are pertinent regarding the Rockets' offseason plan. So the first one is that the Rockets finished the regular season 12th in offensive rating. It's not bad, but much of that came through for second chance opportunities, a low turnover rate, defensive minutes of a team that created advantage on that end. But when the game slowed down, half-court offense, aka playoff offense, they weren't that good. At one point, their entire offense was just freaking Sengun backing down anybody. But, they were stagnant. They ranked 22nd in half-court basketball, according to B-Ball Index. They also ranked 18th in overall shot quality. And the only team that made the playoffs with a lower true shooting percentage was the Orlando Magic. And they, too, themselves struggled offensively in the playoffs. Granted, these are just season stats. In the playoffs, we saw it still. Spacing was still an issue. And, you saw in the opener and the finale where they failed to score 90 points in the scoring in the game. But even with the offensive woes, I still want to point this out. The Rockets took the Warriors to 7 games. This is a championship team, the Warriors, like championship pedigree. And also, by the way, they did this while making only 63% of their free throws. Can you imagine if they actually hit like 70 or 75? This series could have been done with already. And then you go to like the young bucks on the squad, dude. Like, did you just everybody's 23 and younger. Got freaking Sengun 22, Amen Thompson 22, Green 23, Jabari 21, Easton 23, Shepard 20, Cam Whitmore 20, and like all of these kids are athletic. All of them. They're like, they could use more shooting. They could use more shooting, dude. But they're even if the Rockets stand pat, they're only gonna get better. They can stand pat and still be one of the most improved teams next year. Even after winning 52 games, just because they get a more year of experience, another offseason in their belts. Just like look at it, like they're just stacked with young talent. Like freaking Reed Shepard, athletic ass dude, 6'1", 40-inch vertical. Hasn't played. White man can't jump. White man can't get minutes. Like this is a guy where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like they're so deep. Cam Whitmore and Reed Shepard are not even getting minutes. But while doing research for this video, I found out that the freaking Rockets are not only rich right now, but they're also rich for the future. They have draft capital out of the ass. What the heck? 2025, 2027, 2029 first round picks from the freaking Suns. And they also got Dallas's 2029 first round pick, which is, come on, with Luka out there, what the fuck? You know, and then they also got a pick swap. Let me read this right here. A pick swap with Brooklyn in 2027. When I found this out while doing research for this video, I remember I screamed. I'm being dead serious. I was in my office and I screamed. I was scared. And the people probably thought I probably like, no, I saw a spider. I don't go. I saw the future. I took a peek into the future and I was just like, no. Asset management, top notch in Houston. It's a different civilization there in Houston, dude. They're all like, much kudos to the GM. And also they have the Suns first round pick this year, which is projected to be the 9th best lottery odds, which means they have the 17.3 chance to go a top 4 pick this year. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets jump into the top 4 again. I just wouldn't be, dude. This is sometimes you gotta like save the scraps for the freaking franchises who are freaking dying over here in the DMV. We need a top near. Those freaking Rockets are like, oh, they're gonna step all over us and get the freaking top 4 pick. I'm just like, I just wouldn't be surprised, dude. The Rockets, like, you also need in the rebuilding team, not just a great GM, great asset management. You need luck. And the Rockets have had that in the lottery, dude. Like, every single year, they're picking top 4, top 3. They had a string of top 2 picks. I mean, I'm not saying this because I'm a jealous asswipe. I'm just saying, like, just give me some of that luck, dude. Just give me some of that. Like, put it in a jar, send it over to you. I'll pay for the FedEx shipping fee, dude. I just, like, I need it. For the offseason, though, with the Rockets, the first domino to fall is going to be Fred VanVleet. He is a team option right now for a $45 million contract. The team is going to reject it, but also do it with the intention to sign Fred VanVleet to a long-term extension at a lower annual rate. I mean, that's probably the right. You saw him in the playoffs. Like, he's a great veteran, comes from a winning establishment. He's a good vet. You need those guys in the locker room for the young bucks, so somebody they can look up to. And, you know, he fits that bill certainly. So that and Steven Adams. The resurgence he had this year was awesome, especially towards the end of the season. But, like, that freaking Twin Tower lineup, that was, people thought that was a thing just in the playoffs. No, the Rockets were doing this towards the end of the season. Like, they were employing that, they were dominating with that, and it translated over to the freaking playoffs against a team that was lacking in height. So, like, it was perfect for them. I think that's one of the reasons why they go to Game 7. But still, re-signing Steven Adams, even though he's going to turn 32 years old, imperative. Steven Adams is also a great veteran for the Young Bucks as well. But for the main part, a trade?
I would be cautious to that. I think if you're going to go out and get a Kevin Durant, you're basically, it's a watered down package.
If I'm the Rockets GM, I would want to trade for somebody who would be with me for the foreseeable future. And no disrespect to Kevin Durant. I feel like if the Rockets do get Kevin Durant, they will be instant championship contenders next year. But the problem with that is the window will be really, really small. I mean, like, the assets that they will have to give up for Kevin Durant. I've seen trade scenarios out the ass. I'm just like, that's too much for a 36-year-old dude. Like, no offense again to Kevin Durant, but he's not going to play until he's 40, maybe. He's not going to be averaging, like, what he's doing right now. But then it got me thinking. I mean, there's also other dudes, like Devin Booker. If I'm the Rockets, I would want Devin Booker. But there's reports saying now that the Suns don't want to trade him, that they prefer to trade Kevin Durant instead. So I'm just like, okay. But then you look around, I'm just like, there's a lot of stars that's going to be available this offseason. Apparently, Giannis, obviously, you know, they're saying John Morant. John Morant, I don't think so. You think you could go for Jalen Green or John Morant? They kind of, nah, if I'm the Rockets, I'm not doing that. Jaylen Brown, they think it's Jaylen Brown. What the heck? But one guy I'm looking at, Lauri Markkanen. If he's available, he'll be had a little bit cheaper. because he had a bit of a down year last year. I would go for that. Front court of Sengun and Lauri Markkanen would be dangerous offensively. Well, probably the best front court in the league. But defensively, there has some woes, but you can mask that, with certain players. I'm looking at Lauri Markkanen a little bit. I'd be like, I would trade for him. A guy like I'm pretty sure that will probably be in most trade packages will be Jalen Green, considering how he struggled a bit in the playoffs. Granted, I'm not going to give up on Jalen Green outwardly like that, but, you probably include Reed Shepherd, some of the draft picks that they own. But if you can do that, this is something where I'm just like, the Rockets are in a place where they have all the assets to acquire any star in this league. Any star will be wise enough to go play for Houston, but at the same time, they also have the ability and the flexibility to just wait. They can just wait. You see how young their dudes are. Their best asset this offseason could just be time. Time for the young Bucks to, continue progressing their games. They don't need a mortgage. Like, they're in one of the most weirdest situations. Like, the most premium situation of all time is where you can just sit pat and your team will still improve. You don't need to mortgage your entire future. What's to say you just stand pat and come trade deadline of next year? I think that might be a great route as well. They got a top 3 bright future in this league, team-wise. They have almost everything on their side right now. So I'm looking forward to what the Rockets are going to do this offseason, dude. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Till next video, peace, y'all.